Let's go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another week, another episode of Soapbox Sports. Clean takes, bold debates straight from the soapbox. Got the All Ball podcast. Brian, how you feeling, man?
Listen, I was gone last week.
Yeah,
The
man.
producer tried to take my spot, but I gotta come back and claim my throne, claim my seat back. Dude, watch yourself now. Watch
Listen,
yourself.
listen, man. The
Uh,
substitute was feeling in, man, but it felt
he did
kind
it.
of
He
good,
did, he
Brian.
did,
I
he
don't
did
know.
good. He did good. He did good. I mean, it'd be nice if we get all of us one time. He stopped being shy. Let's collab. But nah, man, I'm excited, man. To be back with y'all, talk basketball, college basketball, everything, Chris. So I don't know whenever you ready, Chris. You
Basketball. We talking basketball, basketball, basketball. What else is there to talk about, Brian? It's a good season for it. March Madness. Let's start there. Final four. We have our teams. I was wrong. I don't know if you watched last week. I kind of only have one team here that I mentioned would go to the Final Four, and that's Michigan. I think probably the strongest team there. We have Illinois, we have UConn, and we have Arizona.
yeah.
So Brian, I'll give you the floor, man. Who you got? No, let's not duck it. So we got the matchups. Who do you have in the championship game? We're not saying who wins the whole thing. Who do you have in the championship game next week?
All right. Yeah. So we got what? Michigan versus Arizona.
Yeah.
And we got UConn versus Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Ohio. So
Yeah.
I'm a Big Ten guy.
Yeah.
So this is looking like it's gonna round out to be a Big Ten battle for the national championship. I got Illinois beating UConn. UConn, amazing game. Yesterday, buzzer beater, great. And then on the other side, I got Michigan. Michigan has not. Michigan's margin of victory, Chris, is over 20 points the entire tournament. The closest game was 21 points. And that was the round of, I think, the first game. Every game after that has been 21 or more. They've been dominating this tournament. And honestly, I don't see how Arizona can top them because I think they're on a crazy run right now and they're hitting on all cylinders. But yeah, Illinois, Michigan.
All right. I'm not mad at that. I think we agree on one side of the bracket. I'm going Michigan as well. They've just, to me, they're the dominant team, as I mentioned, left in the tournament. I disagree with you on the other side. I'm gonna go with UConn. There's just something about them, man. There's just something about them. Every tournament, they just find a way to win, and that game was lost. That game was lost. You could say the miracle shot, blah blah blah, but they had to mount a comeback, and they did what UConn does in this time of year, and that's win games. Um, I don't know if they'll beat Michigan. We'll see. Hell, I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know if they'll beat Illinois. That's the beauty of March Madness, but that's who I got, man.
yeah. No, that's exciting. I'll tell you one matchup. It's just interesting being an NBA fan. Is Chris Mullin's son plays for UConn, and
Yo,
Peja
I just
Stojakovic's son plays for Illinois. So that's
yeah.
the real matchup for me. I'm watching is which former NBA player's son gonna
Yeah.
ball out, who get the best. So
So
that's
far,
gonna be interesting.
Stojakovic got the slight edge, man, in the
Right.
tournament. He's in the
He's been
tournament.
balling. He's been balling. So I'm excited to see that matchup as well. But yeah, so that's for our college basketball predictions. I mean, we ain't got it right so far, but hopefully we can get it right moving on
Yeah.
forward. But yeah, but let's get to the NBA and let's talk the talk. Will
Hmm.
the real MVP stand up?
Mm.
We got a close knit battle. Wimby in first place right now on odds. I think
Yeah.
SGA second.
Leader shakeup.
Yup. Luca third. We throw Jokic in there too.
Yeah.
Chris, who you got in your MVP race?
I got none other than Luca the Don Doncic, bro. Are you watching basketball right now? Are you watching this man carry these last maybe 14 games particularly? This man's averaging 37 points per game, bro. Shooting north, a 40% from the 3-point line. He's given some effort defensively. The best effort I've seen from Luka Doncic is in his whole career.
Yeah.
And this team is playing good basketball. They have the support. LeBron just gets to play free safety. That's all he needs to do at this old age. And he understands, like, yo, give me a shot against OKC. They haven't had an answer for him in his whole career. So the Spurs will have to see because Wemby's a different beast. But OKC, I definitely give them the major edge, and that's because of Luka Doncic. So he's the MVP. And if you have a singular player who can beat the best team in basketball and one of the best teams in basketball history, you got to give him the most valuable player. And the Lakers are a 3 seed, y'all. These Lakers are a 3 seed.
They was 3 seeds last year. They've done it before. Lakers always fall in that spot. Don't talk about these Lakers are 3 seeds. The West is weak. The West is weak. The West is weak this year. Let's keep it a stack. Outside the top 2, it ain't nothing but fluffiness and clouds, bro. It's all milk and honey in the West. The real gauntlet is in the East. And let me just preface this. On our list, we got SGA mentioned, we got Wemby mentioned, we got Luka mentioned, we got Jokic mentioned. The disrespect to JB, Jaylen Brown. Bro, he dropped the line last night. 50 wins in a throwaway year. Bar. Straight bars, bro. Listen, Jaylen Brown may not have Luka's numbers. He may not get the triple doubles like Jokic, but it's the intangibles that he brings to the game that can't be measured. Now, if you go counting stats, he's not the MVP. But if you go off expectations and what he had to play with, he's the MVP. He's the most valuable player to the Celtics. He was the engine for the Celtics this year. He willed the Celtics to 50 wins this season. He showed the entire league that he's not a 2. He's not a 1B. No, he's a 1A and he's a superstar. JB is the MVP this year if you're going off most valuable player. I've seen OKC play good without SGA. I've seen the Lakers play good without Luka. I don't know about the Spurs, but Wemby got an argument. But JB wouldn't have, or the Celtics wouldn't be where they're at without Jaylen Brown. Put some respect on his name.
Brian, you're right. We didn't mention him at the top. We do need to put more respect on Jaylen Brown's name. But there was something you said there. He's not a 2. He's not a 1B. But guess what? He's number 2 in the MVP race behind Luka Doncic. That's where he's going to fall. Because at the end of the day, you talked about expectations. Let's talk about expectations. What did we expect from a 40-year-old LeBron James? What did we expect from
25, 5, and 5, the same.
His podcast partner? What did we expect from DeAndre Ayton? What did we expect from Rui Hachimura? Come on, man. At least he has Derek White. At least he has Peyton Pritchard. Guys you know who could get buckets. Guys you know who have some grit and some ill to them. The Lakers had none of that, man. And they're sitting 3 in the wild, wild West. I'll give Jaylen Brown his props, but he is a 2. He is a 1B in the MVP race.
I'll just say one final word. Consistency. If you like roller coasters, ride with Luka. If you like consistency, ride with JB. Because this conversation you having about Luka now, a month ago, they was talking about if Luka would ever win the ring. Come on now. We're going to end it there. Let's move along. Since we're talking about JB in the East, let's talk about the real beast of the East. Are the Celtics the only true contenders in the East, Chris? The only real dogs?
It hurts me to say this, man, because, I've hung on to one team, and they're doing exactly what I thought they're doing, but I can't believe in them. So I'm going to say yes, they are. The Celtics, yes, are the only contenders in the East. There's no other team that I can see beating them in the 7-game series. None whatsoever. Even if Cade was healthy, I don't see Detroit doing it. I don't see the Knicks doing it. They're just inconsistent. They probably need another year in a trade.
Weak,
yeah.
Chris. Stand 10 toes on it.
Those are the top teams. I'm not even going to mention your boys, Cleveland. Don't get me started with James Harden in the playoffs.
Man,
and the rest
that
of
was,
them Padres over
that was
there.
a weak take, Chris.
So yeah, they are the only team in the East, the beast of the East, the Celtics. Yes.
Listen, bro, that was a weak take. How you not gonna stand 10 toes down with your team when they clicking? When they fire, bro. You got the bandwagon all messed up. You supposed to hop on the bandwagon when they hot. You getting off. You getting off when they hot. You ride them when they cold. Pause. You get off when it's hot, bro. Listen. I'ma just say this. Philly is a contender. And they playing with anger. Tyrese Maxey, I like that he was hurt. Not saying that injuries are fun, but he needed a break. He was carrying them, and he's been carrying them for a while, and he's playing with an energy that they need. Guess who else got a break? Paul George. Paul George got a 30-game break. At 36 years old, you need a break. Guess who else been chilling all season? Joel Embiid. And you know what that does when your star players are out? It allows your bench players and reserve players to get minutes, to build confidence. Listen, Chris, I'm going to tell you this right now. Philly is not going to be in a play-in. They're going to get the 6th seed. And whoever they play at number 3, they're beating.
Looks like the Knicks.
That's why I hope my Cavs stay at 4. But Philly is beating the Knicks, Chris. Guaranteed. Philly is beating with Knicks.
Only because if it is the Knicks, I'd agree with you. They wouldn't beat your Cavs. Philly wouldn't beat your Cavs.
I'm not going against the Cavs ever on this show.
They wouldn't beat the Celtics. They'd probably beat Detroit. They
can beat the Celtics too, just not the Cavs.
It's a matchup game, but no. Second round, they meet the Celtics or they meet the Cavs, and they go home.
They all get hurt.
Yeah, they go home, bro. Like, that's what Philly does.
I don't know. They making me believe
I
this.
have to believe it. It's crazy how we switch sides on this one, though.
Yeah, I believe in Maxey. I feel like he got that dog in him. He just need. I just know. To be honest, this is like the 2020 Lakers, the bubble Lakers. The only reason they won that championship is because the season was halted early. And you know Anthony Davis was not going to make it through the playoffs.
He needed that one.
He needed that. And that's where I'm like, Philly is catching the right breaks and everybody coming at the right time. And when that happens, it can be magical, man. So I like Philly. You know, I'm sticking with the Cavs because everybody been judging them lately. But I'm like, the biggest piece of the Cavs right now is Jared Allen. And he hasn't played in like 3 weeks. So I'm just holding off. So I like the Celtics, Cavs, Philly.
All right, Brian, real quick. 8 games left. Can the Celtics sneak the 1 seed?
No. Because for some reason Detroit keeps winning. Detroit is weird. They just lost to the Wizards. But then they went on a 5-game win streak right before that, beating good teams. So they beat the Knicks too. So I don't know. They just don't have enough time or games left to catch.
I'm gonna say yes here, only because of Detroit. I'm gonna say only because of Detroit. Things like that happen to Detroit. But
they that pressure, especially a young team like that.
Gets to you sometimes, All right, but we were talking about it earlier. We kind of referring to it. Bottom of the barrel. Seeds 5 through 10, Brian, are separated by 3.5 games. Which team at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, or bottom of the barrel, could sneak the Eastern Conference Finals? Like nowhere, like a team you don't see coming, bro.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say Philly because, as you can see, I have big expectations for them. It's not a sneak if Philly makes it. I'm going Charlotte. And so just to preface, Toronto. Let's go over it. It's Toronto, Atlanta, Philly, Miami, Orlando, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Orlando. I don't believe in Miami. I can't stand Miami.
Miami's the worst.
I'm pissed at Miami for that 83 game.
Right, real quick. Miami, Steelers of the NBA. They don't want to be bad.
I won't say they are the Steelers because they weirdly had playoff success when they should have rebuilt. It's like they'll have playoff success at the wrong time, which gives them false hope, which makes them look like they no, y'all never had a chance.
Sorry, off track though. But
Charlie, no, agree. But yeah, I can't stand Miami over the bullshit they pull on the Kobe record. So I hope they fall out, which they won't. But Charlotte, main case, they got enough offensive firepower, and they have the size. I mean, everybody in their starting lineup is 6'7" and up. And that's what makes it difficult for teams. Everybody say, like, oh, they're lights out shooting. Imagine having an entire lineup where your point guard, your shooting guard, your 3, your forward, and then you got bench players who are coming in at 6'7". Then you bring Kobe White off the bench, who's a 20-point per game scorer. They have enough firepower where they're naive enough. If they just get hot, they can beat somebody. I don't expect much, but they can get hot though. The Atlanta Hawks. That's what they remind me of. The Trae Young Hawks that went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Still my answer, but right there, that's it for me. I'm gonna go for the hometown team, the Hawks. They've been playing real good basketball. I know the teams they played, boo-boo. I'm not really gonna be mad, but guess what? They're Eastern Conference teams, and that's what the schedule gave them. But I watched them the other night, and it's starting this. You could kind of see, like, winning. They found something in winning, and it's translating on the point differential. They have like one of the best ones in like the last month or so. Again, bad teams, but guess what? You're gonna come up against one of these bad teams in the conference. I like them, but they get out and run, bro. They play defense, and then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, that X factor for me. X factor. They're very similar, like you said, to Charlotte. They're all long, athletic, and they're starting to play defense. And then when everything fails, they give the ball to CJ McCollum, and he just takes them home.
He takes them home.
He just takes them home.
They have a closer.
Yeah. So like, I like the way they play basketball. So I'm gonna go to Hawks here. I don't mind your Charlotte pick because they're fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah, I just wish the Hawks kept Porzingis. They would have hung on to Porzingis a little while longer. Just a little while longer.
It'll be interesting though. I think that's pretty interesting. That's why I like the play in for this right here. This mesh of bad teams. But yeah, Miami, don't get me started on them. We can talk about them later. But let's talk about a different Florida team. Kind of interesting. Brian, we'll keep this one a little bit quick here. Orlando. Expectations were high after that 4-seed year. I think it was 2 years ago. Kind of give them a mulligan last year, but this year, I was really going into the year really high on them. But wow, is Paolo getting into that bust territory?
I'm gonna just put it right now. I'm gonna just tell everybody right now. This is Lucky's question. This is a dumbass question because. I mean, it depends on how you define it, bust. Are you defining him like Kwame Brown bust? Anthony Bennett bust? I mean, even Michael Carter Williams, he won Rookie of the Year. Like,
I'm talking about, like there was a question, should he go ahead of Chet? You know what I'm saying? In that draft.
And I think he should have.
Still. And I agree. And that's the point. He has the one quality. And I get it. I'm not holding them against them. Orlando's a weird organization. Yeah. They're a very weird organization. But once you make the playoffs and then you do it again, and again, I didn't really mind the fact that they weren't a 4-seed last year. You kind of want to see his game step up to the next level where it's like, yo, all right, I'm that guy from that class. And he hasn't really done that. That's what I'm saying, like bust. For me, he looks like a 2 or a 3 on a championship team when I was expecting him to be a 1 guy. That's what I'm saying, bust. That's why I threw out the question. Here's how
I rephrase your question. has Paolo Banchero peaked? And if that was the question,
That's
I
fair.
would say yes. Because the next level from this is LeBron. To be honest, not saying he's close to LeBron, but I'm just saying Paolo Banchero, he plays for Orlando, and Orlando has 0 vets. So only player I know that comes in with 0 vets and can figure it out is LeBron. Like Dwayne Wade, he had vets. He had Shaq, Alonzo Mourning. Like you can go down the list like the guys who ended up great and winning. Paolo Banchero comes in and they have 11 big men on the roster that are all hurt. And now they're like, here, take us to the promised land, and we're going to give you subpar coaching, and you got to figure it out. He's not LeBron. He can't do that.
I don't need you to take me to the promised land, Brian.
Bro, listen. Everybody can say
in the playoffs, bro. Like none of it. Fives, bro. You went out in 5s and 4s.
Well, he's not LeBron though. Like he can't overcome Orlando. Franz Wagner is never. The brothers are never healthy, Chris. Never. They were hurt last year. They were hurt the year before that. And then it's like, okay, who's my 2 now? Wendell Carter. He got to step up. Scrub. Jalen Suggs, who's always hurt. They had Markelle Fultz. Remember they couldn't figure out the point guard? They had Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz. They just swinging in guards left and right. He needs a veteran to show him. He needed like a Chris Paul or somebody in the locker room, a Udonis Haslem or somebody. But Orlando's going to stay where they're at until he matures, and that's all. He's just young, and they just need more solid players. I like Desmond Bane. He's been decent, but Desmond Bane don't know net either. So I won't say bust. But there is a chance. I think he's peaked, though. This is what you're going to get.
Okay. I don't mind that rephrase, Brian. I'm not.
Yeah, because buzz. I mean, when I say buzz, you think of like Kwame. I think of Kwame Brown, Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett type thing. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Cool. So
yeah. Well,
let's transition. Let's get to the awards. We have to end of the season. There's 8 games left for majority of the teams, and we coming down to the nitty gritty when it comes to the awards. So we're gonna kick it off with the Coach of the Year, Chris. And we like to keep it spicy. Who you got Coach of the Year?
My Coach of the Year, man. You know me, I'm unconventional with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going for one of the front runners. I'm going for Ty Lue. They were 6-21 to start the year, guys. 6-21. Ty Lue set a target for them. He said, for the rest of the year, I want us to go 35-20. Right now, they're 33-15, guys. 33-15. He's about to change the whole trajectory of the NBA, because if the Clippers had bottomed out, OKC would have gotten their pick in the first round, a high draft pick. We're talking DeBanza. We're talking Boozer. We're talking A-Cuff. We're talking dynasty, guys. Like, let's just be real. So not only did he turn it around for his franchise, and they're actually going to be in the playoffs, and scary matchup for whoever gets them. It's not a tough out. But he changed the trajectory of NBA history. So shout outs to Ty Lue. He's my Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go in a similar direction. Who the front runners are, like JB Bickerstaff. Who else is on there? Phoenix coach, Ott. He's doing a good job. But I'm going with Charles Lee for the Charlotte Hornets. Similar story to the Clippers. The thing is the Clippers have been good in recent history. Charlotte, I mean, they haven't been good since the Bobcats. So Charles Lee turned this team around. I think they were 16-28 at one point in the season. And they went on a killer win streak, like having one of the best records after All-Star break. I think after the year turned, one of the better records in the league. with a team of young guys who no one expected to do anything this year. Had everyone doubting if LaMelo Ball was a franchise player. And now they're looking like one of the more dangerous teams in the East. So I'm going with Charles Lease for, in the midst of a season, turning a franchise around. So not turning a season around, turning a franchise around mid-season. So that's pretty outstanding. I think he need to get some recognition for that.
I think he will. I don't think Ty Lue will. So I gotta shout him out.
He's
Charles Lee. Yeah.
Side conversation. How you think James Harden feel right now?
How you think Chris Paul feels?
Huh?
How you think Chris Paul feels?
Chris Paul was already out of there. But James Harden probably looking back like, dang, I didn't know I was gonna have Kawhi this year.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Next up, most improved player. Who you got, Chris?
The guy who's probably going to win it. I played it safe here because Ryan Rollins, Milwaukee. They've had a tough season. But he's probably been the only bright spot for them this year. Increased his points more than double digits, shooting across the board, assists up. And he plays defense hard. He's a gritty guy. He's a starting point guard in this league, and I'm pretty excited for what's to come for him. Particularly because you just know Milwaukee kind of needs something because we expect the Giannis dice to fall this summer. So I'm gonna go Ryan Rollins. There.
No, that's a great shout out to Ryan Rollins, who's not going to win it. But I had that guy on my fantasy team, and he got me to the finals as probably one of the best free agent pickups in the season. But I got to go with Denny, my guy Denny. Listen, came out of nowhere. No one expected Portland to be anything, and they're still not really much. But the player to lead them, we didn't expect it to be Denny. Denny was acquired by Portland. Was it last year? And I think what's his average a game? He averaged actually 16 a game last year, which was pretty solid. I think that could have got him most improved considerations based on his career in Washington. But 24 points a game this season, an all-star this season. Yeah, that's the biggest jump. Especially for him, is for Denny and Portland.
That's what I'm saying. He should have won it last year. That's my thing with him. That's why I didn't go for Denny.
Portland wasn't in the play-in or playoff consideration. Now they're in the play-in. And I know to start the season, they were actually pretty hot to start the season. He kind of caught everybody off guard with their play and their competitiveness early in the season. But yeah, Portland's in the playoff or play. I won't even say playoff, play-in. So that's a notch above what anyone expected. But someone got to make the play-in, right?
Somebody.
All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's go. Defensive Player of the Year, Wemby. We can skip that one.
Yeah.
Next Man of the Year, who you got?
I'm gonna go Homer here, bro. Nobody's giving him any love. Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh my goodness, carried the Denver Nuggets off that bench. If you know anything about Denver's bench these last few years, they lose their minutes. And guess what? They still lose their minutes, but they lose their minutes way less than what they did these last few years, in particular just because of Tim Hardaway Jr. Jokic went down. He went into the starting lineup for a bit, played a key role. I think he was averaging like at least 20. I picked him up in fantasy during that run because he was just killing. So, yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr., I think he's the second most points off the bench. I'm going to go him. And I think old guy, been around the league, plays defense, hard nose. I think the guy kind of really deserves it, round out his career. So, yeah, THJ.
Man, I hope he gets it, honestly. You know, I'm an old head, so I've been watching him play for the longest. Wow. Like the Knicks, he always been one of them microwaves, bro. He get hot, he turn up. So, love to see him still balling when people, you know, probably trying to write him off. but it looks like the NBA fits his mold. But for me, this award sucked this year. This is probably if you had to rank or do a list of best 6 men of all time, this one would be probably dead last on that list all time. So I'm gonna just have a little fun with this one. I'm going.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know, dude. That'd be a nice list. But I'm going Isaiah Stewart. He averaged the most suspensions in the leagues, some of the most techs. He's been fined the most in the NBA, and all of that has got Detroit to the #1 seed. If you need somebody to come in and throw hands, Isaiah Stewart got you, bro. I mean, listen, you ain't got to worry about your point guard getting hurt. You ain't got to worry about the coaches getting hurt. Isaiah Stewart gonna come in and he gonna lay somebody out for you, and you need that on your side in the NBA. Everybody say the NBA soft. I mean, I saw more fights from Isaiah Stewart than I've seen in the last 20 years. So I love what I see. Get up in 6 man of the year.
Brian, I'm changing my pick to Isaiah Stewart.
Bro, you got to, bro.
You need somebody who gonna throw some hands.
You gotta have somebody that throw them hands and average at least a couple techs, a couple flagrants, and a few suspensions, bro. His stat sheet, solid. Nobody all time. I think that's another good list. All time suspension list. Like who got the most suspensions, and then we rank those players. This just means just talking. That'd be an interesting list, bro.
I like those.
Because we're gonna see who the real dogs is. Because we got more today than back then. I'm just saying they can't say that.
He's probably like top 5.
I want to see if Charles Oakley on there. Rob, I want to see who on the list. All that talk. But yeah,
the real one. The only thing to really talk about this year, from besides the MVP one, well. Who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
I feel like people think the obvious answer is Cooper Flag because he gets the most media attention. You know, he's the white savior, the great white hope. But they forgot there's another great white hope in Con Knuckle, bro. Knuckles himself. Listen, this is resembling the LeBron, Carmelo, Rookie of the Year battle. LeBron got all the media hype. Khan is playing winning basketball. He's actually leading his team to the play-in and playing meaningful games. Cooper Flag, none of his games mean anything. I'm going with Khan because he has the most 3 points. The most 3-pointers this year. He has a great 3-point percentage. I got to get the numbers up. I'm over here fumbling the numbers. But y'all know Khan is balling. And he's doing that on a team stacked with offense. Brandon Miller, top 5 overall pick. LaMelo Ball, #1 overall pick. Miles Bridges, a lottery pick. He playing with all lottery players and inserted himself in year 1. And if you ask, what's been the difference with Charlotte this year? Why is Charlotte so good this year? I mean, only one thing has changed, and that's Con Knuckle. So put it like this. Cooper joined the team, they go down. Khan joined the team, they go up. Listen, who got the better name, bro? The Con man himself.
Brian. Sometimes the obvious answer is the obvious answer. It's really just not that hard. You know what? You're right. This is turning out to be like the Carmelo and LeBron phenomenon. But guess what? The NBA played politics because the NBA knew it was right. And in order for a great player to enter the stratosphere of great and to hold that upper echelon when it comes to MVPs and all that other stuff, most of the time they win Rookie of the Year. It's a part of their 2K journey. They're in the NBA. You can't not play politics, especially when it's this close. I get you. You're right. Khan's had an impact. The numbers are right there. But Cooper's numbers are right there, and they're slightly better. And guess what? He is the great white hope, Brian. And you must not deny him what his
Cooper can dunk.
the NBA has to play politics.
Yeah.
And the only problem I have with the NBA is they don't play politics at the right times. Zion should be a Knick, guys. I'm just going to leave that there. Leave that there. But yeah, the obvious answer is the obvious answer because he is the chosen one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen.
He's
Either
going
way,
to be the next American player to win MVP. Right? He's going to break the curse. It's going to be like a 10-year drought.
That's crazy.
Until Cooper.
Yeah. He's the American hope at this point.
He's the American hope.
No, I mean, either way, I feel like it go either way. I do like that Connor stepped up and put his name in the hat.
Con's nice.
But yeah, I do love that. So, I mean, listen, two Duke boys going at it, teammates. Can't ask for nothing better. But yeah, let's shift over to the Wild Wild West. And let's talk about them Spurs.
Oof.
Grow Spurs, grow. Clirs, do you believe that the Spurs' inexperience will hinder them in the playoffs?
I've been saying yes all year. And I'm sticking to it. Yes. And if they prove me wrong, bro, they're probably going to enter one of the greatest teams in NBA history. And I'm not, that's not even hyperbole, y'all. I'm just being real. Maybe not like they'll probably enter top 10. Because one, nobody would ever have seen this coming. But
you think this team,
yes,
if they
win the championship, bro,
would go as one of the top championship teams of all time?
Ever, bro. Just from a lack of playoff experience wise, bro. The only guy who's like really like battle tested is Harrison Barnes, and he doesn't really play.
Listen, I don't.
Exceeding
expectations doesn't make you the greatest. Or
no. Brian, where do we have the Spurs? Like for real, from like when we go back and we talked about the NBA at the beginning of the season, we talked about it'd be great if they make the playoffs. We think they'd probably make that 7-8 seed, but if they win the championship, bro, they'd be one of the greatest. That's why I think I would have to see it to believe it. That's why I think they won't do it, and that inexperience factor is going to kick in. Even OKC, they had to go through a little bit of a hurdle. It took one round, sure, but they have to experience the playoffs, and I think it's going to be a big thing for them. So
I agree with you on the inexperience. I disagree with you is that if they win the championship, they'll go down as probably top 10 championship teams of all time. Yes. Hell no, not even close. And I can do a comparison: Dallas Mavericks in 11. They have probably one of the most storied runs ever because they went through the gauntlet. That's the toughest road to the NBA Finals ever was that 11 Dallas Mavericks. They're not the greatest, one of the greatest championship teams ever. Not even close. But going back on topic, the Spurs' inexperience will hurt them.
Yeah.
Because history says so. And the game slows down and it gets a lot tougher. And what Wemby lacks is physicality. Now, he's an athletic freak of nature. He's 7'5". He can block shots. But we find him often shooting threes or getting boxed out by guards. In the playoffs, that's where physicality matters. And I think that's where he's going to be shot because the West got bigs. So we're going to see. I feel like that'll hurt them. So with that being said, I believe they should be very particular or hunt a matchup in the West. And I don't believe they should play Minnesota. But I definitely think they should try and shoot for Phoenix. If they can get a Phoenix matchup to get warmed up, I feel like they'll be set. But, yeah, I think they need to start hunting matchups because they don't want a tough round one against a Minnesota. The Rockets is soft, so they'll be fine. The Clippers, I don't think they want to see the Clippers.
Brian, so they're just praying for the ultimate miracles of the play-in for the ultimate miracles of the play-in to happen, which is either Golden State or Portland.
Or Portland, yeah.
Yeah, just beats
You
up.
don't want the Clippers. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that now.
All right, Brian, LA. Let's talk about quick LA topic. The LA state of mind. The Lakers and the Clippers both been hot second half of the season. Who's the scariest playoff player? Kawhi or Luka?
This is tough because they both scare me. I think Kawhi is baby Jordan, but I'm gonna go with Luka. Luka has been a menace to Kawhi Leonard, and this is why I'm going. Even though Kawhi Leonard has beaten him in the playoffs, that Clippers team had Paul George and Kawhi in their prime, younger, and they could not stop Luka. Baby Luka. Baby Luka was taking him to 7 games by himself. And as soon as he got help, he demolished them. And they always go at it. So I'm going Luka. Second highest playoff points per game average ever.
Brian? Right now I'm going with Kawhi. He's looking a lot like Toronto Kawhi. And this is probably the biggest stretch of games I've seen him play and look like this. And when the last time I saw Kawhi Leonard look like that, he was just really was a cyborg. He was the scariest playoff basketball player I've ever seen. Down 0-2 versus Giannis. He said, you know what? I'll just guard him. They didn't win another game, bro. And then Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick. That team was nice. Probably should have won the championship. That was the Sixers window. Kawhi broke their hearts, bro. I wouldn't want to see Kawhi in that team that he has right now with Benedict Mathurin. Garland's actually playing well. We'll see what happens in the playoffs with him and everybody else. If what's that name? Collins comes back and can be healthy, they have something to say, bro. So Kawhi, and if he's looking like this now, imagine him in the playoffs.
The machine. He need a new nickname, the Terminator. Then that nigga machine, bro. He is a machine for sure. Let's go. If the Lakers make the conference finals and they lose, are you bringing Bron back?
If they make the conference finals and lose, no. It would just be time for me. 1 year older Bron just means slightly less better numbers. And for me, at that point, I would want to see Bron just go to Cleveland, announce that he is retiring at the beginning of the season so he can get his flowers and the farewell tour that he deserves. But a conference finals or a finals appearance would be nice. Hell, he goes out on top.
I agree with you.
But nah.
Yeah, I agree. Another year, LeBron, go get young, athletic, go build the Dallas team all over again. Mm-hmm. And y'all make noise. Last topic, Red Dead Redemption, Chris. Which dead team at the bottom of the conference can make the Spurs jump, East or West?
Listen, if they do it right, the Wizards. I think they'll be fast, athletic. If they can find a way to play defense with Trae Young, that's one thing that's really hard. I think they can make that jump. I think they can be that running gun team that has a really, really good regular season, top 3 in the East. So, yeah, that's my team.
Yeah, I'm going with one out of left field because everyone expected the Spurs to be where they are now eventually, but I'm going Utah Jazz. They have collected a ton of resources and picks and players, and they're developing those players while visibly tanking and catching fines. But Ace Bailey is starting to catch on. They're going to have a top draft pick in this draft, and this is a great draft. They have Walker Kessler coming back, Lauri Markkanen, Triple J. It's going to be scary hours. I forget Keontae George. Chris, they're going to be deep like that OKC team or the young OKC Thunder with Shea and SGA. And I'm gonna tell you now, last time Laurie was on a winning team, it was with the Cavs, where the Cavs ran the three big lineup with Jared Allen, Mobley, and he played the three. He'll get pushed back to the three again, and I just feel like that size, that youthfulness, Jazz, they got a chance next year.
Don't see my boy Filikowski, Kyle Filikowski, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they got it's so many. I can go down the list, but they got the talent. They just tanking right now on purpose.
Yeah, man. Stick with us, y'all. We'll be talking a lot more basketball. The playoff pushes upon us, y'all. We are so excited to see how the dice roll. A couple weeks now until the real basketball gets started. A lot to talk about in football, a lot to talk about in a lot of sports. World Cup coming up. Stick with us. Like, subscribe. Check us out every week on your audiobooks, Spotify, Apple Music.
Wherever you listen to us.
Wherever you listen to us, check us out. We appreciate y'all tuning in.